And Yoginis, thanks for joining me today. I'm Genevieve and I have a great yang to yin flow for you. So we'll do about half the class with flow, get the body warmed up, and then we'll move into some more passive yin style, longer holds, really to get into those deep joints. So when you're ready, meet me at the top of the mat. Come to stand with your big toes touching, heels are apart. Alternatively, you can have your feet hip distance apart. Just find yourself here, feel the feet rooted into the ground. Feel tall in the spine. And just take one deep clearing breath in. And exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms up, look up at the thumbs. Exhale, dive forward, hands through heart center. Inhale, hands to shins or fingertips to the floor. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back into plank. Inhale here. Exhale, downward dog. Pedal the feet out here. First downward dog, maybe of the day. Maybe it's the first downward dog of your life. Whether you've been practicing for one day or 100,000 days, it's still good to reconnect to the foundational aspects of each pose. So fingers are spread here, hands are shoulder distance apart, feet are hip distance apart, and the heels are tracking behind the second and third toes. Exhale, bend the knees, pull the hips away, look forward, step up to the front of the mat. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Flat spine, hips over heels. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Take hold of your right wrist and crescent over towards the left. Pull the right wrist out. Keep the right shoulder into the right socket, shoulder socket. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hold on to left wrist and side bend over to the right. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release the hands through heart center and interlace the hands behind the back, reaching the hands towards the heels. Tuck the chin here to get a deeper stretch in the upper back. Draw the low ribs in. Inhale, release and sweep up. Exhale, dive. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Strong legs. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, step, walk, or hop into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, lift the hips, tuck the toes, downward dog. Inhale. Exhale. Pivot the toes so that they point to the left long side of the mat and the heels point to the right. Side bend, bend the knees, lengthen them. Feel a nice juicy stretch through the left side body. Inhale back into standard downward dog, then pivot the toes over towards the right, heels to the left, same thing. Bend the knees, lengthen them, or just stay static in one pose. Inhale back through center. Exhale, bend the knees, pull the hips away, look forward, step, walk, or hop to the hands. Inhale, look up and lengthen, and exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep up again. Exhale, dive forward, Uttanasana. This time, heel toe the feet about hip distance apart. Interlace the hands behind the back. Lift the hands overhead, bend through the right knee, and twist towards the left, straightening through the left leg. Inhale back through center, lengthen both legs, then bend the left knee, straighten the right, left shoulder to left knee. Inhale back through center. Exhale, release the hands. Take your peace fingers and wrap them around your big toe. So you're going in between the second toe and the big toe and get the webbing of the fingers right up to the webbing of the toes. Bend the knees, make sure the knees are pointing forward. Reach the heart forward. Then exhale, keep belly to thigh connection. Lengthen the legs what you can. If your belly's coming off your thighs and your back is rounding, stay in the deep bend, reaching the heart forward. This pose is more about a flat back versus depth. Relax the shoulders. Feel them melting down the back. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, bend the knees and place the back of the palms underneath the soles of the feet. Padahastasana. Inhale, reach the heart forward. Exhale, fold, and make sure your toes are right up to the wrist creases. Stand into the hands with the feet. The inhale finds length, and the exhale finds maybe a bit more depth without sacrificing the form. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, bend the knees, release the hands one at a time. Hands come to hips, and inhale all the way up to standing. Good. Bring the big toes to touch. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra, broad collarbones. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up and behind you, bend the knee and open that hip. Try and get those right toes over towards the left shoulder. Of course, they won't touch, but that's where you're aiming for. Keep the shoulders squared to the floor. Maybe peek under your left shoulder. Maybe you can see your toes. Hello. Inhale, square the hips back to neutral. Then wave forward into plank. Plant the right foot. Drop the back knee. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, side bend over to the right. Right fingertips graze the floor or a block. If you don't have a block and need one, just keep your right hand on your knee. Inhale, back up, and exhale, plant the hands and shift the hips back, extending the right leg, kick up the toes. Left hip over top of left knee, pull the right hip back, left hip forward. The roundness out of the spine, trying to find the upward dog action in the pose. And of course, feel free to elevate your hands on blocks. Inhale, step into that front foot. Plant the hands, step back into plank. Glide and lower, chaturanga, either knees down or knees up. Inhale, upward dog. Tone through the outer thighs and the glutes. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up and behind you, bend the knee, open the hip, and reach those left toes over towards the right. Keep the shoulders squared to the front of the mat. Keep the right hip drawing in towards midline. Peek underneath your right shoulder, see if you can see those toes. Wiggle them, wave hello. Then exhale, square the hips. And wave forward to plank, plant the left foot, drop the back knee. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, side bend on the left. Left fingertips graze the floor or a block, or hand stays on the knee. Keep the hips pulling back. Exhale, plant the hands. Shift the hips back, maybe scooch that left heel forward a little bit, then kick up the toes. Right hip over top of right knee, straight left leg, but a soft bend in the knee, fold into it. Hands on the floor or on blocks. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend through the left knee, plant the hands, step back. Make your way through your vinyasa. Flow it out. Shoulders don't come past the level of the elbows if you're doing chaturanga. Engage through the quadriceps. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, step the right foot in between the hands, right in between the hands. Spin down the left heel, so heel to arch alignment. Inhale, wave up into warrior two. Keep a deep bend in the front knee. Knee tracks over the ankle, and the knees pushing out towards the pinky toe side of the right foot. Push weight down into the back edge of the left foot. Good, flip the right palm. Exhale, reverse warrior. Let that left hand glide down the left shin. Keep the bend in the front knee. Then straighten through the right leg, coming into reverse triangle. Inhale, sweep the body up. You can step your back foot in a foot or two to glide forward into triangle pose, or just stay with where you're at. Right hand drops down onto the foot, the shin, a block, or the floor. Extend the left arm up. Trying to stack the hips here. So the left hip is not caving forward, so it's facing the floor. Try and get that hip bone to point straight ahead of you, like you're leaning against a wall. Option here is to do a half bind. Bring the left hand around the back, maybe holding onto the right thigh. Feel the right thigh spinning out. Good, then bend through the right knee, coming into Parsvakonasana. Right hand to the inside of the foot, either on the floor or a block. Half bind or arms straight up in line with the shoulder. If you'd like to go deeper, take your right hand and work towards your full bind. Feel the upper body leaning back. Shoulders open and broad. Exhale, look down at the front toes. Release your bind and come to spin onto the left toes. Coming into a crescent lunge. Inhale, sweep the body up. Then bend through the back knee. Almost let that back knee hover. Inhale, straighten the leg. Push into the toes. Exhale, hover the knee, bend, bend, bend. You're just grazing the floor maybe. Inhale, back up. Exhale, hover one more time. And let the knee come all the way down. Good. Hands through heart center. Cross the left elbow outside of the right knee for your prayer twist. Option here is to bring the left fingertips down to the floor. Maybe lift the right arm up. Option here, bring your right arm behind your back. Maybe go into a bind, half bind or full bind. Exhale, look down at the front foot. Frame the foot, plant your hands, step back into plank, glide and lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Bend the knee, wave forward into plank, and plant the foot in between the hands. Spin down onto the right foot and sweep yourself up into warrior two. Heel to arch alignment here. Feel activated through both legs. Deep bend in the left knee. Have a look at the left knee. Make sure it's not waving forward or back. It's dead center. Exhale, lift the left palm. Let the right hand fall down the shin. Keep the bend in the front knee. Drop the left hip. Straighten through the left leg. Keep your reverse shape. Then inhale, come all the way up, gliding into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Again, if you'd like to shorten your stance on this side, you can. Let the hand fall wherever it falls. It's merely decoration. We're not dumping a bunch of weight into that hand. Lean the upper body back, draw the low ribs in. Coming into your half bind, if you did on the last side, right hand reaches around for the left thigh or hip crease or shirt, whatever you can reach, and work at drawing that right shoulder open. Bend through the left knee, bringing the left fingertips to the inside of the foot, either grazing the floor or on a block. Pull the navel in, low ribs in, deep bend in that front knee so it's right over top of that ankle. Come into your full bind if you did on the last side. Lengthen through the neck and the throat. Exhale, look down at the front foot. Unravel yourself and come to find your crescent pose. So spin onto the ball of the right foot. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bend through the right knee, grazing the knee to the floor. Inhale, come up, building strength here. Push into the toes, push the back heel away from you, and exhale, bend. Keep the upper body straight over top of the pelvis. Inhale, up, and exhale. Lower all the way down, let that knee graze the floor. Hands come through heart center, right elbow outside of the left knee. For your prayer twist. You can spread your wings here, let the right fingertips graze the floor, left arm up if you'd like. Bring the left hand behind you for a half bind as an option. And maybe coming into full bind if you did on the last side. Each side will feel different, so if you feel super tight on one side, that's totally normal. Still try to work with it though to keep balance in the body. Exhale, look down, unravel yourself, plant your hands, step back, and make your way through your flow, your vinyasa. Glide the body forward past the wrist, bend the elbows. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, lift the hips, tuck the toes, downward dog. Inhale. And deep exhale. Inhale, lift the right leg up and behind you. Exhale, bend the knee, wave forward into plank, and plant that right foot outside of the left side of the mat so that you're on your pinky toe edge side of the right foot. And that right foot is crossing over to the left. Spin down on the left foot. Inhale, sweep the arm up, and maybe over for fallen triangle. Inhale, sweep up, and find your way back towards center. Hands are shoulder distance apart. Keep the right foot where it is, and maybe drop that right hip towards the floor a bit. Deep stretch. Inhale, push into both hands. Bring the right knee in towards the chest. Scoop the belly around the back. And then come back into downward dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up and behind you. Exhale, bend the knee, wave forward into plank, bringing that left foot off to the right side of the mat. Spin down on the right foot. Inhale, sweep the arm up and over for your fallen triangle. Inhale, back up through center. Plant that right hand on the mat and gently lower that left hip onto the ground. I'm moving over a little bit because I'm a little limited with space here. Inhale, push into both hands and pivot onto the ball of the right foot. Draw the left knee in towards the chest. Scoop the belly around the back. Lift the leg up and come to find your downward dog. Inhale, wave forward into plank, and exhale, lower yourself onto your belly. Push all 10 toes into the ground, looking straight down at the mat. Interlace your hands behind you. Try and get palms to touch here. You can use a strap if your hands don't touch easily here. Inhale, peel the upper body off the floor, pull the shoulder heads away from the floor, reach the hands towards the heels. Exhale, release. Inhale, peel just the legs off the floor, reaching from the inner groins towards the toes. Pull the tailbone down towards the heels. And exhale, lower down the legs. Inhale, bring all the upper body and the lower body off the floor, reaching in opposite directions here. And exhale, release. Undo your hands, plant them underneath your shoulders. Push yourself back into a quick extended child's pose. And make your way back into downward dog. Bend the knees, pull the hips away, look forward. Step walk or hop through to seated. Legs cross and come to sit on your bum. Extend the legs out beside you. Have a strap handy if you need one. Sweep the arms up, coming into Paschimottanasana. Exhale, fold forward, holding on to the outer edges of the feet, or take a strap around the pads of the feet. Reach the heart towards the toes here, and your gaze is at your big toes. Fold forward. Inhale, reach, find length. Exhale, relax the shoulders, relax the neck. Relax the muscles in the face. Inhale, reach the heart forward, look up. Exhale, release your feet. Bring your hands behind you about 6 inches in front of your bum. Make sure they're shoulder distance apart. So a good trick here is to bring the heels of your hands to the back edge of your mat. That way you know that your wrists are even. I will come forward a little bit, or I will be ending up in the plant behind me. Feet are hip distance apart. Inhale, reach the heart up to begin. Roll the shoulders open. Exhale, bend the elbows back behind you. Scoop the belly, tuck the chin. Inhale, come on up into your reverse table. Gaze is at your belly button, or you can drop your head back. Close off the teeth to get a stretch through the front of the throat if your head is back. Push into the thumb and the index finger. Exhale, as you come down, bring your bum as close to your heels as you can, getting a big shoulder stretch here. And when you're here, try and broaden, push the heart forward to open up through those shoulder heads. Tuck the chin towards the chest, intensifies the upper back stretch just a bit. Inhale, push into the hands and the feet to bring the bum back to center and drop it down. Good. Inhale, stretch out the left leg. Right foot is one spread hands distance apart from the left inner thigh. Inhale, bring the left fingertips off to the side, right hand reaches up. Exhale, reach towards, like you're reaching past your left foot. Then bend the elbow backwards so that your palm of your hand is facing out. Maybe your hand is on your low back, maybe it's around by your glutes or your hips, that's totally fine. Take the left hand now, reach around back, palm facing out. Maybe right hand holds onto left wrist, or alternatively, have a strap here to lengthen your arms. So you're holding on to something. Then propel the body forward. Try and square the shoulders to the front of the mat and fold. Push into the right big toe pad. Squeeze the right knee in towards the side body. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, release. Extend the right leg out. Bend up the left knee. One spread, hands distance apart from the right inner thigh. Right fingertips behind you. Inhale, sweep the left arm up to find length in that left side body. Then reach forward as far as you can. Keep the left knee bending up. Then extend that left arm behind you, bending at the elbow, palm facing up. Squeeze it in as tight as you can, and then take clasp and hold right wrist. Holding onto a strap in each hand and work towards pulling the knee in towards the side body. Length. Exhale, release yourself. And we will gently transition here. Rock over your shin bones. Find yourself in an extended child's pose here. If you have a bolster, it always feels so good to lay over a bolster, which would look like this. You can just melt yourself over the top of the bolster, bring your ear onto the bolster and just relax. Find a position where you're comfortable, where you can breathe appropriately, and something that you can hold for a couple minutes. Letting the heart rate come back to its natural, slowed pace. Smooth out the breath. Breathe into the back body. And inhale, come to your hands and your knees and step your right foot forward, coming into lizard pose. So your right knee is tracking over top of the right ankle, and the left knee, you can even push into the left toes to draw the left knee back a bit. That'll intensify the stretch. So just go to wherever you feel a stretch, and something you can maintain for a couple of minutes. Grab some blocks if you'd like to have them to frame the foot. Gives you something to push your weight into. And find your edge here. And then maybe back off a little bit. So we're not pushing into these longer held stretches. We want to give a slow, gentle release in the muscles and the ligaments and all that deep fascia that help to support our joints. If you're feeling good here, feel free to heel toe that right foot over to the right side of the mat a little more to make space on the inside of the foot. Bring your blocks or elbows down to the ground. elbows to blocks or to the ground, or stay up on your hands. Work at drawing the right hip back, the left hip forward, and squeeze the right knee in towards the side body. So wherever the knees go, the toes follow. So if your knee is starting to collapse outward, then pivot the toes out towards the corner of the mat. Here is to bend up the left leg, either staying here or lasso a strap around that ankle, or reach around with the right hand for the left leg, left outer foot. Keep the foot flexed. You can either be on your elbow or elevating up on the hand a bit more if you need to. Again, finding that edge and then backing off slightly so that you can relax into the pose and not feel really tense. If you're tense in the longer holds, it defeats the purpose of the pose. Exhale, slowly release the left foot. Come back up onto your hands if you were on your elbows. Move your blocks out of the way. And then heel toe the right foot over towards the left side of the mat, coming into pigeon toe. Flex through the right foot as you drop the right knee towards the right side of the mat, and bring the heel in towards the body, whatever you need. Square the hips, and you can prop a block or a bolster underneath the right hip if you need some more support, if that hip is really lifted off the ground. And then walk your way down, either supporting your head on the floor or on your hands, or I like to do it on a block. And when you've found this pose, please just commit to it. Once you've settled in, try to avoid the urge to resist and fidget. Be open to the fascia opening, but the brain will play mind games, telling you to move and distract yourself, anything it needs to do to get you out of the discomfort. But this is where the real yoga lies. It's in these moments where we're faced head on with sensation and maybe some discomfort, but not pain, tweaky pain or crunching, pinching. That's not good pain. And if regular pigeon pose like this hurts your knee, you can always take a reclined pigeon pose, lying on your back, doing a figure 4. Send your breath to wherever you're feeling sensation the most. And inhale, push up into your hands. Remove any props. Plant your hands at the front of the mat. Push into your left toes. Draw your right knee in towards the nose. Then lift the leg up and back for a three-legged dog and just release open that hip, doing some hip circles. We just spent a few minutes getting super deep in that hip. Just take a moment to stretch it out and then find downward dog. Just take notice of how your right hip feels compared to your left. And come back through table again. Step your left foot forward, coming into the other side. Push into the right toes to draw the right knee back a little bit towards the back edge of the mat, but keep the deep bend in the front knee. Bring your hands to the inside of the left foot. Maybe walk the left foot over to the left side of the mat a little more. And if you did on the last side, come down onto your elbows, elbows on mat or onto blocks. Squeeze the left knee in towards the body. And on a scale of 0 to 10, you're working anywhere between a 4 and a 5 here. So we're not pushing to our maximum. Yin poses are designed to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system and deactivate the sympathetic fight or flight response in the body. So if we're pushing to a level of 7, 8, 9, 10 in a pose, we're not deactivating the fight or flight response. We're actually contributing to reacting it, reactivating it, and the body will stay in a heightened sense because it's always out to protect itself. So this is our time to be gentle, to coax open those deep, deep layers that surround the joints. And that can be part of the yoga in itself, is backing off a bit. Especially if you're an A-type and you're very driven. We always want to go to our max effort. I know for me, that's part of the yoga as well, is learning to take a step back. Option here is to bend up through the right knee. Either use your strap or reach around with the left hand to the outer right foot. Flex the foot. Deep quad stretch here. Feeling warm or maybe even sweating in these poses, that's totally normal. Yin poses are simple, but they're definitely not easy. Release the right foot onto the ground. Come back up onto your hands. Remove your props for now. Then heel toe the left foot over towards the right side of the mat, coming into pigeon pose. Or if you took your reclined pigeon, figure 4 on your back on the last side, then do so on this side. If you need a prop underneath your left hip, feel free to insert that now. Then coming down onto your elbows, maybe onto your hands as pillows, or elbows on blocks. I did elbows on blocks last time, so I will do that this time as well. Try to stay consistent with what you do from one side to the other. Push yourself back up to your hands if you're not already there. Remove your blocks or props. Tuck your back toes, plant your hands, and make your way up into a 3-legged downward dog and come into the hip circles on the left side. Just releasing and allowing for that blood flow to return to that left hip. Then find downward dog. Stretch out both legs. Maybe recognize some newfound length. Maybe a deeper tilt in the tailbone. And exhale, come to your knees. I'm going to spin around so you can see me here. Coming into Gomukhasana, or shoelace pose, or also known as cow face pose. So bend your right knee, your left knee in, and cross your left knee, your right knee, sorry, over top. Lean forward to square the knees so that they're stacking. And then come to sit down. If this is super intense right here, stay here. Or if this is beyond your 4 to 5 on the scale of 0 to 10, elevate your bum a little bit just to take some pressure off. Bring the right hand to pat you in between the shoulder blades, and then internally rotate the left arm, feed it up your back so the palm is facing out, maybe interlace fingertips behind you. Alternative is to take your strap, holding on to the strap if your fingertips don't reach, okay? So somewhere that you can feel a stretch and you can hold it for a couple of minutes. Also, alternative here is to have a bolster out in front of your knees with a block or 2 if you need. And this is if you'll want to lean forward, then you have something to rest your head on. If you're feeling enough sensation here, please just stay here. This is all good work. If you'd like to lean forward and your hips are on the floor, lean forward, resting your head on something. you're finding it difficult to cross both knees over top of one another, you can straighten out through the bottom leg. So extend the left leg out, keeping the right knee bent over the left leg. Inhale, bring yourself back up. Coming out of the pose, release the hands gently and unravel yourself. Switching sides. Right knee bends in, left knee stacks over top of it. And again, if this is too much, straighten out through the right leg and just have the left knee crossing over. Flex both feet. Lift the left hand up, pat yourself on the back, then swim that right arm up, holding on to fingers or onto a strap. Feel both hip bones, both sit bones reaching into the ground. And either stay here or leaning forward. If you're leaning forward, make sure your bum stays on the ground. And see where you can relax here. Take notice of the quality of your breath. Inhale, come all the way up. Release yourself. And then come to find a butterfly shape pose, coming into Baddha Konasana. So the soles of the feet are together, knees are wide, and go into a wide diamond shape here. You can have your bolster or pillow or blanket right on the heels and then lean forward. Alternatively, you can have blocks underneath the knees as well, just to support them if you're feeling like you have to hold them up a lot. And as your body releases over time, you can remove props to allow yourself to go deeper, as long as you can maintain that relaxed state. Inhale, walk yourself back up. Take the hands on the outer knees to gently lift them up. Remove your blocks. And come to find yourself in one more downward dog, just to stretch it out. Bend the knees, lower to the ground. Come on to your back. Lift your legs up in the air here. Maybe extending the legs overhead. Toes might touch the floor. If this is uncomfortable, just leave your legs straight up in the air. Coming into a plow pose. Maybe tops of feet come to the floor. Find length in the back of the neck. Engage through the quadriceps. Lift the hips up to the sky. Then exhale, roll all the way down. Coming into happy baby, holding onto the outer edges of the feet. Bend the knees in towards the body. Extend the tailbone down onto the ground. Then release the feet to the ground, preparing for your Shavasana. You can take traditional Shavasana on the floor, or if you'd like more of a heart opener, you can take one more yin pose. Take your blocks, and one block will be on the middle edge. Place your shoulder blades right to frame over top of the block, and the block is extended right at the base. So you're laying over right at the base of the shoulder blades. And then your head, depending on how open you are, you might need your head up on the middle edge or perhaps the lower edge. And let the arms extend out to the side. And just feel open here. Let the legs fall open, toes fall open, heels fall in. Quiet mind and quiet body here. Let the breath just return to its natural rhythm. And gently begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And take a soft breath in and out. And gently come to rock onto your right side, relaxing in fetal position. Take a pause for a moment. And when you're ready, push yourself up into a seated position. One leg crossed in front of the other. Hands come to heart center. And I hope this practice for you today leaves you feeling invigorated, yet balanced. Bring your palms to your forehead, reminding us all to be clear and kind in our words, thoughts, and actions this week. Bowing forward, Namaste. Thanks for practicing with me today, yogis and yoginis. I always love spending my time with you on the mat. Join me for the next one. See ya.